Do you struggle with what's right and wrong? Do you say one thing but do another? This is a dilemma everybody goes through, and only recently have I come to understand it better. As we grow, our light and dark sides rhythmically shift back and forth until it finds an equilibrium inside us. For me, I'm constantly shifting my self-image, my insecurities, and my need for acknowledgement. By identifying my self-imposing parameters and understanding it, the more fulfilling life becomes, and I'm able to shift closer to the best version of myself. I want to share with you stories about how I've shifted my dark and light side to better understand myself, and I think I found a good balance for them. The first one is my self-image. Clothing is an essential part of society. I find that the clothing that we wear is what society's impression of us and our beliefs and our attitudes are. I find that people tend to judge others on what they wear, even though sometimes it's not completely who they are. So a story I have was when I was younger, I used to love fashion, but then when I went to university, I would dress up. I used to care about how I looked and the clothes I wore because I liked it. But the friends I had at university would be like, "Oh, Sam, why are you wearing those clothes? Who are you trying to impress? Why are you dressing up?" And that would make me feel really insecure about myself. I didn't want people to think that way about me because that wasn't my intention of dressing up. I want to dress up because it was fun and it's fun to look good, right? But when people kept making those comments, I didn't know what to do. So then I started to dress like everyone else. I started to dress in sweats and just dress down so I wouldn't stand out. And at first it was kind of fun because I didn't have to think about what I wore as much. But at the same time, I didn't think at all about the clothing I wore. And that carried through all the way to work and until just a few months ago, actually. And then fast forward to just about a month ago, I was looking on Instagram and social media, and I was starting to get captivated. The beauty of how people put together their pieces and how the fabrics and how it just looks so good on them. And then I can feel that little spark of joy in me. And that's when I just hung on to that. I was like, okay, I found something that I might be passionate about. I mean, I still love traveling, but that's something I'm already doing. So then I thought, is it bad of me to be into something like that? I was scared. I didn't want people to think I was materialistic and a bad person for wanting nice things. But then because of my introspection, I realized the only reason why I felt that way was because of what happened to me back in university. Honestly, like, I have all my other needs met in life. So why work so hard to be stressed out, to worry, to deal with stuff I didn't want to deal with? For what reward? So I had to create a reward system for myself so that I can do more for my friends, for my family, and for my community. So I decided that I wanted to curate an insane wardrobe, like insane. Well, everyone has different descriptions of insane, but my description of insane is, getting beautiful designer runway pieces every month, just having one-of-a-kind purses and clothing, something where when I'm 60 and I look into my closet and I'm just in awe of the beautiful pieces, and by that time it'll become vintage. And in order to do that, I would need to do extremely well in work to make a lot of money to afford these things, right? So then I thought to myself, there's nothing wrong with this. I believe I should shift my mindset again from when I was younger, from wanting beautiful things and clothing, what I would classify that as like the dark side, to not wanting that stuff at all and just embracing non-materialistic things. And that would be what society would call the light side. To now that I'm shifting again, maybe a little bit more to the middle and being like, you know what? There is nothing wrong with wanting those things. If I work hard and I can get it, why can't I have it? And it makes me happy. I'm not doing it to make other people feel bad. I'm doing it for myself because I enjoy these things. I enjoy the quality. I enjoy the uniqueness, and I want to be able to collect it. It's my collection. I'm putting out there because I want to hold myself accountable to this so that I don't get lazy with work, because it's really easy to just be complacent and not want more. And then with that, why would I want to work so hard? And ultimately, what it came down to is the label I put on myself. But yeah, I never realized that these little things that people told me would actually hurt me, and it would change the course of things that I would do. And only through introspection did I realize my shifts from my light and dark sides, and that really, like, I shouldn't let what other people say and think impact me so much. So now I actually use getting an insane wardrobe as a motivator for me to do more. And it's a cool story, and it's a funny one too. I'm really excited to take you guys on my little adventure to update my wardrobe and collect all these cool pieces, and hopefully they become vintage and just classic. Social events. I love hosting events. I mean, being an event planner, you would think I do, and I do. But the story I want to share with you is it wasn't always great hosting events. It actually would cause me a lot of insecurities and anxiety. I feel like that's something a lot of us go through, is social anxiety, and I have a lot of it. So I used to host events all the time, and it was fun. But I used to be stressed out thinking, oh my gosh, I hope everyone's having fun. I want to add value to people. I would be really stressed out worrying about their happiness. I noticed that our friends and family were not having gatherings and wasn't inviting us to their event. It would cause me a lot of frustrations. I would be like, oh my gosh, I invite people all the time and create these amazing experiences for them. I wanted the same in return. And that would actually really bother me, because I'm like, why would I put all this effort out there and have them not return it for me? So then what started happening was I stopped having social events, and I started doing it out of spite. I know it's not really healthy to do, but I couldn't help it. That was how I was feeling. Like, how would you feel if you were the one hosting all the time and none of your friends and family were doing it, and it just felt like people were just taking all the time? So then I started vibrating really low and thinking that people didn't care about me, and that was not a great feeling. Like, I don't know if this is how you feel, but I would not have people over because I just didn't want to feel rejected, Like, if they said no, they didn't want to come, or if they did come and they didn't have a good time, it wouldn't feel very good. Or do you just not have get-togethers because you don't want to worry about people not having fun? Because if they don't have fun, it's a reflection on you and how good you are as a hostess. And then what changed it all was Celia was having a book club meeting where we would read our books and discuss it in a group. And I had so much fun at the book club. And that's when I realized that these social gatherings wasn't for me to throw parties, impress people, have people like me, and want to be my friend. These gatherings was for me to enjoy the company of other people, what they had to share with me, and what I could learn. And that totally changed the course of how I thought about social gatherings. It was like a eureka moment. Like when the light bulb goes off, that was basically what happened to me. And since then, I've been having social gatherings around themes that I do, where it would be, stories we would share, brunch, or certain objectives. I would have my social gathering where I didn't need to please other people. I did it because I wanted to learn from people. Whether or not they invited me after to whatever they did was not a concern I had anymore, because the events that I had was already so fulfilling to me that I was just so appreciative of spending time with people. So now what we do, because I love the deeper conversations, is we have Sunday brunch at our place all the time, and we host it with different people because I want to pick their brains on things. I want to hear about what they're going through and things they have to say and educate us. And it's been pretty great. So the shift that I went through was from throwing all these events and parties. Like, it was just like shooting arrows in the dark, and having people come to my events and wanting them to like me because I use my events as a reflection of me, which is not good, to moving to a negative area where I felt like I was being taken advantage of and people weren't doing it in return, and it didn't feel great to feel that way, to shifting now in the middle to where I'm gonna throw get-togethers, but I'm gonna be a little bit more selective about it, and I'm gonna throw it because I genuinely want to spend time with these people, to hear what they have to say, to learn about them, and create topics that we can have a back and forth and expand all of our minds. Oh, that is so enriching. And I don't expect anything in return because just having them there was a reward factor in itself. And then what I realized was I wasn't the only one that felt that way. I found out that a lot of people actually didn't even host events. So I was getting offended from people not inviting me to their events. But in actuality, people don't even have a lot of events. Maybe one, maybe two a year. So it was just all in my mind and what I was thinking. And these negative feelings can prevent a lot of happiness and cause a lot of insecurities. So yeah, those are my shifts on how now I've discovered a great balance, and it's made me a lot happier, and I'm able to have my events again without feeling like I need to impress people or make them like me or make them having to invite me back. I just do it because they're fun for me, wanting to be successful. So this story is a story that I want to share because it's a common conversation that I have with a lot of people, and I want to share this story with you guys. When I first did your door and people ask me, why do you want to be an event planner? I would tell them, well, I want to do it because I want to create beautiful events. And that was true, and that definitely was my number one motivation, was to create beautiful events. But my other motivation that I told them was that I wanted to be acknowledged for my beautiful events. I wanted people to see the amazing things I can create. And I wanted to prove that I could do something amazing, create a business and have it be successful. So I was very real with what I wanted. And I did not suppress my desire for acknowledgement. But what I find is a few of my friends do struggle with that. When I ask them, why do you want to start this business? And a lot of times they would give me an answer like, oh, I want to help society. I want to be a good person. I want to, all of that stuff. And then I say, okay, is that all? And they would say, yeah, I want to do for society. And I go, well, that sounds like crap. because if that was the truth, I think you've already done that. You could go volunteer. You can just give up time. But I think what you're really saying is you want to be successful, you want to be acknowledged, and you want to make a lot of money along the way. And they go, yeah, I do want that. And I would tell them, if you want that, you should say that and actually have it be one of the top things you tell people. Because with law of attraction, what you put out there is what you're gonna get in return. And if you're telling the world that you only want to help people, then you've totally achieved it, right? Yeah, just help people and not worry about making money. We all have that capability. And I find that that's a really important thing to note when you start a business, is know your intentions. And if you feel like it's a negative intention, something that feels very selfish to you, that's okay, because sometimes we need to go through that in order to give more to society. They say you can't help others until you help yourself first. So going back to the example about me, when I started your door, I knew what I wanted. I knew my acknowledgement, and I wanted to make, at least $200,000 a year. I wanted to prove to others that I could do it, and the list goes on and on. And when I did it, I was so happy. And because I was able to prove to myself and accomplish what I wanted, I then started shifting my focus onto other people. And then that's why I went into my partnerships with my partners. Now that's why I did the Oneness Center. Even in Jador, I would do tons of charity all the time just to help people because it made me feel good that I could. And I wasn't compromising on anything by helping others. But then because I've shifted to helping others for these past few years, and it's been great, the building's almost done and the businesses are starting and it's going really well. But now I notice I'm lacking a bit of motivation, because now that I've achieved helping others, I realized I have to keep going at it. And so where do I find that motivation? What's gonna keep me going, you know? Am I gonna be like, okay, bye, the business open, good luck, you know, call me if you need a little bit of help. But I'm not gonna be there every day stressing and worrying about things. So now I feel like I have to switch to finding passions and interests for myself, to give to myself, to keep myself going so I can continuously help people while satisfying some kind of an internal drive or need that I have. So yeah, those are all the shifts I've gone through so far. And I'm probably gonna go through more, you know, as we age and grow. I expect us to go through more changes in life and mindset. But currently, that's what I'm going through. And I don't know if you guys are going through your own shifts and what your perspectives are. But I hope that my stories are interesting, or at least inspirational, or you can take whatever you like to take from it. But yeah, thank you so much for listening to me, and I hope you guys will enjoy this journey that I'm going on, and I will share it with you. And yeah, let me know what you think. Anyways, thank you so much for listening. Please remember to like and subscribe for more videos, and I will talk to you guys soon. Bye.